I'm gonna tell you a story. So on He's the DJ, I'm the Rapper, we did the song Nightmare on My Street. And don't understand, parents blew up. Radio stations started playing Nightmare on their own. So it was almost kind of like we knew what our next single was going to be. We shot a video, did the whole thing. And we got, this was around the same time that New Line Cinema got the Fat Boys to do a Nightmare song that was going to be in the movie. Yeah. So radio stations start doing this competition, whose Nightmare song is better. And we were blowing the Fat Boys off the map. And New Line Cinema, we got a message like New Line Cinema is suing you guys for doing Nightmare on My Street. Yeah. To the point that we went and had, or the lawyers went and had a meeting with them, basically saying, you realize this song is helping your movie. And they ended up, we ended up having a lawsuit, and the settlement of the lawsuit is we had to pay them, I think it might have been like $125,000. Oh, wow. They offered us 2 movie roles. Yeah. And it was kind of like, I remember us saying, do we have to accept them? And they were like, no, they're going to offer you 2 movie roles. And if you don't want them, we'll say no. We turned those movie roles down, not even paying attention to what it was. Because House Party was written for Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Yeah. If you pay attention to House Party, there was a DJ and a rapper. Yes. And what happened was when they submitted it to us and we were like, nope, we don't want to do it. It was like, okay, get Kid and Play to do it. And then it came out and we were kind of like, shit, wow. I didn't like that blew up.
How we get House Party on the basis of that. And then they get a young Martin that they see in Talking Dirty After Dark. They were like, okay, he could be Bilal as the DJ. Tisha Campbell, originally, I think Tashina Arnold was originally supposed to play the role of AJ Johnson was playing, because Tisha Arnold and Tisha Campbell came up together in the game.
Yep.
They were in Little Shop of Horrors. They did a whole bunch of like Broadway stuff as kids, all this kind of stuff. So it's like incestuous on that level with that. And then Full Force came in because Kid and Play was like, is these dudes. No, at first they heard a song from them and they're like, man, those dudes doing it right, because they did. It was Lisa Nicole Jam, All Cried Out,
All Cried Out.
I went to Take You Home and stuff, and they were like, man, we want you to do something for the soundtrack. That's what the original, but people didn't know what Full Force really looked like. You got to remember this, folks. Like Full Force biggest hits were written for other people, not necessarily theirs, until the song they did for the House Party. They had the songs, but then they were like, they had a meeting with them and like, oh, those dudes need to be the bullies. Yes. Don't understand these big dudes, but they got long Jerry curls. And they wearing these long earrings, but they yacked. Like everybody in the group is yacked.
They look like bullies.
Yes. Even though they're like 30 years old playing people in high school, which is a whole thing. But
and some great songwriters too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we talking about Lisa Nicole Jam, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, Christina Aguilera, Cheryl Pepsi Riley. It's in there. They ain't hurting for no money. And a hip hop fact, Boogaloo Lou discovered Nicki Minaj.
Bow-legged Lou
discovered Nicki Minaj.
Did not know that. Wow.
She was in a group called the All Stars with his son.
Okay.
It's the Stars or the All Stars with his son, and that's how she got put on into the game.
Okay.
Bow-legged Lou, and he was like, I couldn't do nothing, man. I'm older. He's like, I'm in the game, but I'm out. I'm more R&B, and then he kind of gave her up to some other people. But that's a small short story of House Party. Okay. But since I gave you all this information, Kyle, what do you think House Party would have been if we had a DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince in this?
That would have been interesting, because you have to go back to the time frame, because in what you just laid out, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince were really, really I want to say Rock the House, their first album came out in like 87.
Yep. Parents Don't Understand is right coming out there. Is it the same time?
That was 88 when the second album came out. Parents Just Don't Understand, which was to my knowledge the first double hip hop CD. I mean, well, of course we didn't have CDs back then, but it had enough to qualify as a double album. Incredible album. In the year of 1988, my personal opinion, the greatest year in hip hop. We could talk about that another time.
We have to have that's. I'm gonna put that
sure.
in.
Listen, I got 88 lined up. There's no year to beat 1988.
Okay, right? So we off just a little bit. 88 is actually He's the DJ, I'm the Rapper.
Okay, yeah, that's what I meant to say. He's the DJ, I'm the Rapper.
Yeah, that's 88.
I think Rock the House came out. Parents Just Don't Understand was on He's the DJ, I'm the Rapper.
Yes, so this is the album to get in trouble for because Nightmare on My Street is the first song on the album.
Exactly.
So what's even funnier, you think about if you wanted to kind of hide it, you should have put it. I mean, they probably didn't think about it because this is early sampling. This before This is right when Biz got jammed up too, right?
No, this is before Biz got jammed up. So everybody back then was just sampling and just that sampling was a big thing, and nobody had gotten pinched for it, if you will. And so I don't think Biz's case, came until like 92, 93, somewhere around there. But by then, so many groups had already sampled. And that's why when you look at a group like De La Soul, for those first couple of albums, they sample so much stuff and none of the samples got cleared. So they never made any money off of it. So that goes back to what you said about, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Was on the He's the DJ, I'm the Rapper. Again, a double album. But the thing about it was that particular song, which was a funny song, but yeah, he did, sample and use and I ain't seen the video in forever, so I couldn't even tell you what was in the video. But yeah, he did sample Nightmare on Elm Street, and it was a play on Freddy, and there was a Freddy Krueger in the song or what have you. Mm-hmm. And so I can see how they got into trouble. I never knew that there was a law. Maybe I did know that there was a lawsuit. I didn't know that they had to have a movie deal behind it. So that's a crazy story in and of itself.
The official thing. New Line Cinema copyright holders of the Nightmare on Elm Street film franchise sued DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, his record label, for copyright infringement, forcing the label to destroy a music video produced for the song. Though a copy of the video did survive and is available online. Both sides eventually settled out of court, but as a result, vinyl pressing the album He's a DJ, I'm the Rapper contained a disclaimer sticker that says this is not part of the soundtrack and is not authorized.
Mm-hmm. And what's interesting is if you were like me and got the tape when it first came out, I don't have that disclaimer on it. So, that didn't come until down the road with that particular tape. But,
so the reason I know about the movie part is Jazzy Jeff tells the story about that they were going to do the movie instead to back up them to not get this lawsuit was basically the thing.
So
that was going to be
is crazy.
So if it was DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince in House Party, I mean, like what is this movie? What does this movie look like? What is this?
That's a very interesting question, and I don't know if it would have been as successful. And it's not because Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince weren't talented, because they clearly were. But in the album, when you hear Rock the House, their first album, when you hear He's the DJ, I'm the Rapper, you get the semblances of the comedic side of Will Smith, Fresh Prince.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff, not so much, because DJ Jazzy Jeff is one of the greatest DJs ever, period. Hard stop. There's no, there's no debate there. His personality, I don't think we got until we started seeing him on the Fresh Prince with Will Smith. And he's funny, but I don't know if he's like comedy.
That's
funny.
That's a bit role though too.
Yes,
it's
exactly.
Not throughout the whole, like he's doing that for 3 minutes on every other episode. He's not having to carry an episode.
Exactly. And to be able to carry a whole movie, I don't necessarily know. The flip side of it is with Kid and Play, they had already had an established, like you said, fan base. I want to say their first tape was already out by then.
I think that's Funhouse, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. And then I think I can't remember if that one, if it was that one or the second album that had Getting Funky on it. But they had a fan base, and even then, which one?
Too Hype is the first one.
Too Hype. Okay, that's it.
October 88.
88. Another.
There you go.
Again,
there you go.
again. And that was on the bottom of 88. So that wasn't even like the
this one's got some joints. Rolling with Kid and Play on here. Hola.
Exactly.
Too Hype is on here. Yeah, they got some joints.
So, and they probably were like the 25th best album in 1988. But I digress.
Getting Funky's on here too. Oh,
yeah. I'm telling you, D. 88 was crazy, but again, we'll talk about it. I don't want to go to.
Man, we'll talk about it. Here. That's my joint. Getting funky with them.
Telling you, and so so they had by the time that movie comes out, they had a stat because I want to say House Party came out in like 89, 90, somewhere around there. I know I was in high school, but yeah, they so
89, I think.
89. Okay, so I was close. So I mean, so they had a fan base, but even then, and
90, March of 90. Sorry,
okay,
March of 90.
Okay, so by then, even with a director such as Reginald Hudlin, you still don't know. I mean, he's handpicked, Kid and Play, but they've never acted before, so we don't know. I mean, like you said, Tisha Campbell had acted. Obviously, when you have
Martin had already acted.
Yeah. Robin Harris was in the movie. Obviously, he was hilarious. But I mean, and John Witherspoon.
John Witherspoon is already in there. I mean, Tisha Campbell's dad in that movie who had been acting a whole bunch of stuff. If y'all remember him, I forgot his name, but he had been in a whole bunch of stuff in the 70s.
But the leads, as far as like Kid and Play, Martin, they had never, been anything big, a major motion picture. This was their first time. So, to take a chance on them and to have a studio take a chance on Reginald Hudlin, who was a young Black director. And at the time, there weren't a lot of Black directors. There was Spike Lee, and that was about it. John Singleton was just on the cusp.
He wasn't even out yet. This is before John Singleton.
Yeah, exactly. John Singleton didn't drop Boys in the Hood until 91. So, so it was just pretty much a Spike Lee, really, in Hollywood. So to take a chance on, for studios to take a chance on Reginald Hudlin, and then for him to take a chance on these rappers who had a bubbling, but it wasn't like, Kid and Play weren't household names. They weren't LL Cool J. They weren't Run DMC. No. So, but they had a certain appeal, and the movie I think was funny enough to where they could hold it as far as their acting ability. And then they had the look. They had a party-esque type look. I don't know if Jeff and Prince could have pulled that off.
And I wonder if Jeff wouldn't even want to do it like that. Like, would Jeff even have been in like his? Because if you hear things about him now, when he talks about it, like, dude, I am glad I'm not famous. Like, he even says it. Like,
I heard him talk about that.
It was just an interview on Sway. He was just like,
on Sway. I saw that.
I guess
they
went out. He was like, they went to. He said back in the day, I guess they went to go get some random.
He said they went to the mall.
Just get some random. It wasn't even
he was like going to get some shoes or something.
Yeah.
And he said they went in. He said they took about 30 steps. He went about 30 feet, and he said that by the time that they started walking, 1,000 people had rushed them, and they had to leave. And he was like, he was like, at that point right there, he's like, he knew he didn't want to be famous. But Will Smith at the time was famous. He's like, I can go get groceries. He's like, Will Smith can't do that. And so
I can touch my apples and stuff.
and when you hear stories like that, it makes you kind of appreciate that type of, because Jeff is one of those guys that can literally just blend in the crowd. I mean, of course, if we saw him on the street, we'd see him and acknowledge him. But Will Smith can't just walk in the mall. Will Smith probably hasn't walked in the mall in 20 years, but maybe 30 years.
This time in 88, I want to say arguably, because I'm looking now, that Getting Funky album is gold. It went gold. I would argue that they're on par in popularity in 88.
On par with Fresh Prince and Jazzy Jeff?
In 88.
No, I'm gonna tell you why. When they dropped Parents Just Don't Understand, that changed the game for them. And that was 88. And not only did it change the game, but it opened them up to not just Black radio, but they got major spins on MTV. And that was a game changer. Kid and Play never saw that kind of volume and fame. And so you think about that, and then you have the basis from the Parents Just Don't Understand video, And the concept of that then leads into the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which I think came out, I want to say 90, 91, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I think it's 90.
So all of that. So let's say if it's 90, now Will Smith has a hit record with a smash video and a TV show. You know, I don't know that
September 10th, 1990 is the first.
Okay, there you go. So yeah. I mean, and the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was a hit from day one. And so to have that, Kid and Play, while they reached certain heights, they never got to that level. So I don't think that's why I disagree. And I don't think they would have been able to now they had success because like you said, the album went gold, but you know, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince were the first hip hop artists to be recognized as at the Grammy.
Yeah, best rap performance. Yep,
exactly.
And that's the same for players don't understand.
Exactly. So I mean, like that record took them out of there. And like I said, I don't think Kid and Play would have kept it on that type of level.
Yeah. So for the film though, I think that it was the smarter move to do Kid and Play. First of all, they're a tandem. Yeah. So they're already and it's a different relationship that Will has with his DJ than Kid and Play have, because then they actually have a real DJ. What is this? G Wiz.
G Wiz. Yep.
Is Kid and Play's actual DJ. So they actually have their own.
What if DOC never got into that car accident? What if Ice Cube didn't leave NWA? What if The Game never leaves G Unit? What if Teddy Riley never moves to Virginia? What if we got that J. Cole and Kendrick album? What if the RZA would have never had that flood? How would the hip-hop world sound today? Welcome to Hip Hop What Ifs, the podcast where we dive into the biggest what could have beens in hip-hop history. From iconic album delays to game-changing partnerships that never happened. We reimagine the culture we love and explore its alternative paths. And you are now at Hip Hop What Ifs.